everyone, welcome back to another episode of Cover to Cover with J&J. I'm Jalen.
And I'm John, and this is the TV show where we talk about everything you want to know about the marching arts. Today, we have a very exciting show for you guys.
This guy is new to me, but many people in the color guard world on the East Coast and beyond know who he is. It's photographer extraordinaire, Chris Maher.
Yep, Chris Maher is a photographer. He's a great photographer overall, but mostly he takes pictures of color guard performances. All action shots that you ever get that are great, it's from Chris Maher. And everybody knows, everybody loves him, so yeah.
All right. Well, before we bring on Chris, we wanted to remind you that the Black Lives Matter virtual performance that our girl Erica is doing.
Yep, over at Beyond the Color, Erica is making this Black Lives Matter virtual performance. She's trying to get as many people as possible. She has a couple of color guard celebrities on there and very important special guests. So yeah.
So if you want to see the Black Lives Matter virtual performance, head on over to styleplus.tv/BTC to check it out. And I might even be making a little bit of a guest appearance as well, so I would love to see you hop on and join. And without further ado, let's bring on Chris Maher. Woo! Hi, Chris.
Hey.
Welcome.
Hey.
It is so nice to meet you because I've heard nothing but amazing things about you, but I just wanted everyone to know a little kind of tad thing that I even learned before you joined is that you spell your last name M-A-H-E-R, but it's pronounced Maher, correct?
That's right. Yep.
All right.
Absolutely.
So everyone out there that has been saying it wrong for years, now you know. But Chris, thank you so much for joining us today here on Cover to Cover. And I'm going to toss it off to John to kind of describe what we're going to do today.
Okay.
Yes. Hey, Chris, how have you been, honestly?
Doing well. Missing obviously the things I would normally be doing since the middle of March, but finding other ways to be creative. So I'm doing well.
Yes. Well, I've known you for like my entire color guard career. Hopefully you've known of me while you were taking pictures. But I don't kind of remember like the first time we've ever met, but I kind of do remember this one time in Wildwood when we saw each other on the boardwalk. We had like a good 10-minute conversation, and it was just great getting to talk to you, just getting to know you better kind of. And kind of, and then seeing your great pictures. It's just great always knowing that you're going to be on the sideline taking the greatest pictures ever.
It's always great when you're on the floor. There we are.
That's me.
That's John in 2011.
Yeah, you got a better memory than me.
That's Haddon Heights gym, and you were with Amp Junior, so that's very exciting.
Yeah.
So Chris, I'm in the dance world, so I really want to hear about yourself and how you got into photography, because I did a little bit of sneak peeking some of your pictures, and they're really incredible. So I wanted to kind of hear how you kind of started.
Well, my photography is grounded in the marching arts activity. I'm not a photographer by profession, and so what I do, what you see of me is my hobby for the most part. Well, I do sell those photos. I make a little money on it, but I've been involved in the marching arts activity pretty much my whole life. Starting when I was little, my father was a volunteer fireman, and we would go to parades. And then we would see these drum corps in the parades. It was a big deal for fire departments to have a drum corps that was theirs. And so I joined when I was 11. In fact, if you see that the quilt that's on the wall there. All right, so the drummer that's in the middle, that's me.
What?
Whoa,
so that's me when I was 11. And my wife made that quilt. So I played double tenors. When was the last time you probably have never seen somebody playing double tenors, right?
I've seen pictures.
Okay, but so I got started then, and then I've just been involved as a participant, as a fan. I was on the staff at Pencrest, and their drum staff for 6 years. I started in the drum line there. I've been a drum corps parent. My son did 8 years of drum corps, and so I've been through all of that. And back when he was little, we would go take trips, out to the Midwest. We took trips out to California to go see drum corps and follow the tour. So I started the photography just simply taking pictures from the stands. And once digital, came to be a thing in the early 2000s, And I ran a website called corereps.com. It was a drum corps history website. And so I was taking pictures for that. And then as I just got more serious about it, I got better equipment, and I kind of worked my way to where I was, more recognized and was able to get on sidelines and things like that, starting around 2005. Around 2009, I started looking at, well, I've got all this equipment and it's just sitting there all year long until the drum corps season. Maybe I should be looking at marching band and color guard. So I talked to US bands, I talked to TOB, and I started, working my way into those circuits. And so now, I'm the photographer for Maine, I'm the photographer for MAPS, I'm the photographer for US bands, I'm the photographer for TOB. So I have found a way to make myself busy all the time. And engaged in the activity in a new and interesting way. What started as just kind of capturing other people's creativity has become trying to find my own creative voice in those photos. So it's been a journey to sort of find myself in that part of the activity. But it's been a long and a fun one.
Yeah. Well,
that was so intriguing. Like, I'm so intrigued already.
Yeah, that's so crazy. And another thing that I always thought that was so crazy that I've always wanted to ask you, when you're taking pictures of a show, I've heard before that you take close up to almost 500 pictures in one show, sometimes.
Well, it depends on what if you mean one performance of AMP.
Yeah.
Okay, so probably the most that ever done was 300 shots.
That's
of
still,
AMP, 350
still
shots.
shocking.
But normally a normal group, just any old group, it's more averages around 120 or something like that. I just get overly excited when I watch AMP perform. So
I didn't even know what that was, and when I watched it, I wanted to go and sit there and watch all of them. But
yeah,
go ahead, John.
Yeah, I don't know how you do it. You're looking through the camera. Do you is there a show where you just watch the show first so you can get the big moments, or are you just going back and forth? Oh
no, what I'm doing is I'm reacting to your energy. Mm-hmm. So if the show is well designed, it's going to guide me through the show.
Yeah.
It's going to take me to the right places. The only thing I have to be a little bit aware of is, am I getting everybody? Because especially in a bigger group, you might have people that they never get on equipment. They never get featured, and so I've got to try to look for times where I might find who those people are. But in a smaller group, or I just try to feel where the energy is. So it's a very spiritual centered place that I put myself to try to find the energy that's on the floor and where I need to be. So I will bounce around some if I'm feeling something, and sometimes I'll get there and I'm a little bit early. And so I'll, then the question is, do I wait or do I move somewhere else, and so if I wait, and sometimes I'll be, particularly with drumline, I run into this a lot. I'll find somebody, I'll be there a little bit early and I think it's over, but something just inside me says, stay with me. Yeah. And so I stay, and I'm usually rewarded for that with maybe a stick toss or some visual or something like that, they finish playing the lick. And it's well, what comes next? That's the shot. The lick isn't the shot, and it's the same thing with color guard. I mean, it's great to catch the stuff, in the air, but sometimes it's the catch and the face when you made the catch. That's the reward, So I don't burst. I don't just go, through your whole, I'm looking for individual shots, the whole time.
That is so cool.
It's so cool to hear how the photographer can really bounce off the energy of the performer, and how you as a photographer are putting just as much energy into the performer that's pouring their heart out onto the stage. So we actually usually do social media deep dives into kind of our guests' social medias, but since you're the photographer, we thought we would let you choose some of your favorites and kind of give us the stories behind them.
Okay, well, I sent in some photos, and I don't know which ones you're going to have picked out, but I'll react to them once I see which ones they are.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Oh, okay. All right. So this is a shot of Gateway Regional. Can't remember, it was probably 2 years ago. I saw them several times during the season, and I wanted that shot so bad, and I kept not getting it. The angle, they pulled this tarp over, and it just, whether it was how they pulled it over or where I was or what I was paying attention to at the moment, but I got that the last time that I saw them. So I was so excited by that shot, because to me that was the shot of the show.
That's great. That's great.
Beautiful. It was beautiful. Oh my
our
goodness.
friend Jeff.
This is Jeff. So Jeff
So-
was actually a guest on last week, or I think it was last week or the week before that's episode, and he has Marching Meme Queen. He has another channel here on Style Plus, but
Yeah.
I'll let you further describe this incredible picture.
Okay. So I'm always, I mean, anything with Light Brigade is amazing to shoot, but to try to capture, the exact moment of when it's behind the back, when his face is turned, when the rifle's in just the right place, that was a single shot. And that was paying attention to him, feeling the energy, seeing what he's going to do. You can see in his face and the way he's going to turn, he's going behind his back. So I knew that's where my shot had to be.
It's so funny you say that too, because I'm in the dance world, so I compete. But I feel like us as dancers, we always talk about those moments that we want, like the photographers and the audience to take. And then right after you perform, you go and look at the 100 pictures, and you're like, I wonder if we took that shot. So it's so funny to hear a photographer talk about that. But
Oh my goodness! All right, so this was another just a moment. Chris and Ellen DeFord are just the most wonderful, lovely people. Chris passed away maybe a year and a half ago, 2 years ago, I forget what. To have captured that moment and then to realize just how important a moment it was. I'm pretty sure he didn't march the next season.
You're gonna keep that for the rest of your life, and that's just great to hold on to, honestly.
There was after he passed, I went through my photos. I pulled out a lot of photos of him and sent them in, and I'm not exactly sure what they did with them, but to make some kind of tribute.
Right.
So he's just an amazing, wonderful, wonderful person.
absolutely.
Wow.
All right. Well, Chris, we want to thank you so much for coming on today. I learned so much about you, and I will definitely be following you on all social medias because your pictures are outstanding. So I might have to steal you to come over to the dance world because your pictures are amazing.
That would be great.
Don't
With
do
TOB,
it.
I'm doing dance stuff too. So.
But thank
Stay
you
with
so much
us.
for coming
Don't
on.
do it.
Well, I won't leave color guard. Don't worry about that.
But thank
Well,
you.
it's a pleasure.
We really appreciate it.
Yeah.
Thank you. It was incredible.
Yes.
Thank you so much.
Can't wait to see you again. Hopefully, after all this craziness clears up, I can see you on the floor again. Yeah. Thank you so much for being with us.
All
Okay.
right. Well, Chris, another thing we have been doing is doing a pose at the end of each of our episodes. And since you're a photographer, I thought it would be perfect if we just struck a pose at the end of our episode. So on the count of 3, 3, 2, 1, pose. Thank you so much, Chris. It was a pleasure having you on Cover to Cover.